Hello. Okay, I'm like, have no voice, so I'm gonna do the best I can, but I'm gonna just do a quick tutorial on how to do an alcohol ink wood grain painting on a stainless steel tumbler. I've sanded this, I've primed it with just like a white matte spray paint primer. I have the rim taped off because it's a personal preference, otherwise you can just put it down and spray paint all of it. So I've already prepped this cup. I'm gonna use 3 alcohol inks. I got these off, I think, Amazon. Maybe you can get them at Hobby Lobby or Joann's. So this one is espresso, this one's ginger, and this is butterscotch. So I kind of like alternate between them. I'm gonna tilt the camera down so I can show you exactly how I do this. So I have it's actually a makeup brush, but I saw somebody else that says they don't clean it in between. You just have one brush designated for wood grain because you kind of want it stiff a little bit. So this is the one I'm using. It's just a stiffer brush. So it's really simple. What you're gonna do is you're just gonna take your alcohol ink and draw a line down your cup, and then you're just gonna start painting. I should have all these open in advance, so I'm ready. Let me open them really quickly. So you can alternate them. You could use just one color if you want. I'll show you. So if I go back over it with the same color, I'll just kind of go a little bit overlapping. And it just starts to create that wood grain effect. So this is just a different color. This cup's a little different because it has this rim up top, so I want to make sure that I fill in that rim. And then I'll get to, if you have a mark like this, I'll get to that in a minute. Oh goodness, tutorials are not my specialty. I'm working on this. So I'm gonna be mindful of my very top rim here. And then if you see a spot, you can kind of go back over the middle if you don't like how something's looking. And it will have those thicker lines. This cup I plan on taking and putting a decal on this after I'm done, and then maybe a couple decals and covering it in glitter and then removing the decals. So what was ever under the decal will be the wood grain, and then the cup will be glittery. I'm not doing these colors in any rhyme or reason. I'm just picking them up as I go. I have no plan or order with them. So you can kind of see this light is not fantastic. The wood grain effect starting to come to life. And then I can go over it and do like another layer if I don't like it, or if I have a line that I don't love. I feel weird like half talking to you. And then I'll do the same thing on the bottom. Just kind of do some lines down the bottom. And then if you want to get fancy and do some like knots in the wood, I'm gonna try to show you this. I have to think about how I start the knotting in the wood. I'll do one up here. So I kind of just do a little dot, and then I kind of push down. And then if you go up a little higher and push down, so you kind of start to get that like, and then you can, you know, pull up, but not pull up all the way. Can you see what I'm doing here? So it starts to create like that little rings in the wood. And then if you add more paint or alcohol ink, it tends to remove what you have on there. Do you see how it's dripping and it's removing it? So if you don't like something, or I'm like, oh, I want to make that a little bit bigger, I can add more ink, and then it will add more depth to it, or make it, you know, so we can expand it and make it a little bit bigger. So you see how that's kind of like coming along? Oops. But that's the nice thing about wood. It's not perfect, you know, it's no rhyme or reason to it. So I can, you know, adjust that if I want to or go back over it a little bit later. But for time purposes, I'm just going to keep going. And I often will do, like, if I find a spot that I've messed up on, I'll try to go make a little knot in the wood in the paint job. And back to... So it just depends on, like, the colors you like. I think there is more browns that I don't have all of them. I'm just using what I have. But even my brush could be a little bit stiffer to give it more of that green look to it. But like I said, you can always go back over it and it will kind of see how it's like separating the paint right there. So that's kind of, you can, it's really forgiving because you can go back over a spot if you don't love how it turned out. I really need a better setup to like take videos. We'll get there. 2020. I got you guys. That's my goal. My plan for 2020 is to try to figure out YouTube and make tutorials, because I do tutorials for people privately all the time because I love helping people learn how to craft and learn different things, but I end up making the same video over and over again to teach people how to do things because I love to do it, and I just need to have a space, even if it's just to send friends to, say, hey, I did this, you can watch it here. So if you have any good YouTube tech or, I don't know, ideas or hints and tips and tricks, let me know. My kids are in the bathtub right now with their dad is giving them a bath. So if you hear loud noises in the background, it's them running around like crazy. They're supposed to be in the bath, let's say that. So I just keep going around and around. When you're done with the wood grain, you want it to sit for 24 hours. I made the mistake of not letting it sit for 24 hours over Christmas, trying to rush things. I got impatient. See, I'll probably do a little knot right here because it just kind of bled slightly. So you'll kind of like learn your own tips and, you know, techniques that work best for you when doing these, but it's pretty, I mean, it's really forgiving. So you can always fix it. Like, don't think that you're stuck if you've done something. You're like, oh no, I don't like how that looks. You can always go back and fix it because like the ink really erases itself. Some of these lines, I'm trying to do it in the camera, so they're kind of looking a little wonky. So when I'm done, I'll go back and straighten some of them out when I'm looking right at it. But that's okay. Let's see. Sorry, I'm bouncing the camera everywhere. So also, I'm not super concerned about how this one looks because, like I said, I'm going to put decals on it, and then I'm gonna, so it's just a little bit of the wood grain showing. It's not gonna be a ton. I'm gonna cover it in glitter, so that'll be a new thing I'm trying. I haven't done that before. So the side's not very grainy, so I'm gonna just take some more ink back down it to kind of give it those little lines. My mom got me these cups off Amazon for Christmas. I think off Amazon, but they're very cool. It comes with like a set of 4, and they have a silicone like coffee style lid and then a metal straw. And they have like a silicone koozie, or you know, like what coffee cups have around them. So I probably won't use those because these will be covered, but it's a cool little option if you want to use them. Okay. So couple of the grainy spots right here I don't love. See how it just kind of erases it when you go back over it? It's pretty cool. You can make it darker, you can make it lighter. But you can get the, I mean, I've been here for 10 minutes now and I've done this really fast for you guys so you can kind of get the idea of it. Oops. And then, so yeah, after it dries for 24 hours, you're gonna wanna take it outside or wherever you can, and you're gonna wanna seal it with a spray paint, like a clear, I just use a clear sealant spray paint, because when you put your epoxy on this, it's gonna like blend it all together if you don't seal it. So that's an important step. You can't forget that. But you want to wait the 24 hours before you spray paint it. I didn't wait the 24 hours, and a cup I made, I don't know if you guys saw it, I posted it, it actually turned out totally fine, but it was for my brother. It had a cougar emblem and then his name on the back, or his last name, and it had a huge like melting, dripping side. I was like, no, but I sanded it out and I just went right back over it with some alcohol ink and it was totally fine. So it can be, you know, things are fixable. This bottom is a mess. I usually just take the bottom in one direction. I'm just trying to erase all those lines. I've seen people like, they'll make an actual bottom, you know, a knot in the bottom down here, which is smart because it comes to an end. So you can do that. It's very forgiving. I mean, you can do it however you want to do it. And like I said, I'm doing these super quickly. So just kind of get an idea of it. But again, if you want to erase it, just go back over it. See how cool that is? Sorry, my voice is so bad. Yeah, but if you don't like something, you just take a little more ink. Uh-oh. There we go. And you just go right back over it. So it's, like I said, it's very forgiving. I have a big drip right here, so maybe I'll do another little knot right here, just kind of paint it out. So I usually just go around it and look for spots that I don't love. Like this spot right here, I'll just make another, oops, knocking over my ink bottles. So you can see up here, there's some odd marks. I could stay on the video for a long time with you guys doing this, but you get the basic idea of how to paint wood grain on a tumbler. Let me know if you have any questions, and when this is all done, I will post a video of it.